Work at height is such a hazardous condition in the workplace, especially in the construction industry. Sometimes, even in our homes, we perform work activities like changing lights. These are all considered work at height. So, work at height is any work where, without the necessary precautions or control measures, a person could fall a distance, leading to physical injury. Now, the distance that the person may fall, or which is considered work at height, vary from industry to industry. However, this is generally considered at 1.2 meters, you know. But if you go specifically, especially into the construction industry, the standard is 1.8 meters. So for you to say someone is working at height, it should be 1.8 meters or more below and or above ground level. For shipyards, the standard is 1.5 meters. So it really varies. And certain organizations, based on good reasons, will also adapt certain distance as their standard. So whatever the standard that you are following, what is important is that when you are working at height, that the necessary precautions are put in place to protect workers' safety. Okay. Now, work at height will include working on ladders. If you use a ladder to perform a work activity, that could be considered work at height if the distance is at these distances that we've specified. Roof works, elevated platforms like the use of man lifts or scissors lifts, or any openings or edge work activities. These are all considered work at height. Now, fall from height injuries is such a high statistics in OSHA. And I believe that we all have a responsibility, whether employers or employees, to put hands on deck to make sure that we curtail these statistics, we bring down the numbers. There's a hierarchy of controls when it comes to work at height. The first is to perform a work at height activity. You need to first consider if you can eliminate the work activity at height. Can you do this work on the ground without necessarily using a ladder or scaffolding or mobile elevated work platform? Okay, so that will be your first assessment. And if it is practical for you to do that, then please perform the work on the ground. That way, you completely eliminate the hazard of working at height. The second is to use collective prevention methods, such as the use of guardrails and platforms that are protected with hard barriers so that you cannot fall out. We also have individual prevention strategies like the use of fall arrest systems or fall restraint systems to make sure that in case of a fall, the worker will be arrested by these devices and they will not be able to fall to the ground. And lastly is administrative controls. By providing training on the hazards associated with working at height and appropriate control measures to put in place, workers can become knowledgeable, they become competent when they work at height. The provision of instructions, signages at the site, the use of permit to work systems related to work at height specifically also help in reducing the chances of incidents associated with work at height. Thank you very much for watching. That will be all for today, and then have a great day. Do subscribe, comment, and then share this video with your friends and family. They need to know about this. They need to learn. They need to acquire the knowledge too. Have a great day.